People of the internet, are Joe Rogan and Dave Smith finally turning on Trump after they used him to prop themselves up their businesses and their careers during the election? Well, it appears that Joe Rogan is slowly turning and Dave Smith has turned completely. But let's go back, because many people are reminding these guys of the immigration crisis right now, but mainly reminding Joe Rogan of what he said years prior that might relate to this.
I see a lot of people online talking about this immigrant issue, and they either don't have kids or they don't think it could happen to their kids. Their idea is, hey, shouldn't have fucking come over here. You get those kind of people. Broke the law. Shouldn't have fucking come over here if your kid, you didn't want to get your kid separated. If you were in the presence of a woman who came over here from Guatemala and she's poor and she's starving and they're taking her baby away and she's wailing and screaming from a primal place in her DNA that the one thing she loves more than anything is being taken away. A baby.
Yeah.
If that doesn't freak you the fuck out, you're not a part of the team, man. You're missing it. You're missing it. What are we here for? We're here for 100 years of whatever. That's what we're here for. If you want to spend 100 years saying, hey, she shouldn't have fucking broke the law, I don't want you on the team. You're an asshole. Right? And I don't give a fuck if you're right or left. I don't care if you're religious, or I don't care if you're an atheist. If that's what you support, you're an asshole. And we don't want you on our team. I don't give a fuck if they broke the law. You don't take parents and kids and separate them. You just fucking don't. It's disgusting. If you're saying, well, they shouldn't have broke the law. Maybe they shouldn't have broke the law. You don't get to do something that's 1,000 times worse than crossing a line in the dirt. That fucking imaginary line in the dirt, crossing that is nothing in comparison to your crime of stealing a baby from its mother. That's fucking insane.
But recently, before the Trump deportations, Joe Rogan was saying this.
To prove that you have some sort of exceptional skill, there's some reason for you to be here, to be a percentage of the people that are coming across that we don't want here. There has to be.
I mean, that's just reality.
Just reality.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as much as you want to be a kind person, look, I am the grandchild of immigrants. None of my family came from America. They all came from Italy and Ireland. They all came over here.
My parents are immigrants.
Yeah. So it's like, we're not anti-immigration. But it just seems like, God damn, you got to make sure you're not letting terrorists in. It seems so simple. They don't know the exact numbers, but they know there's millions and millions of people illegally just walk through unchecked. And a bunch of them have to have criminal records. A bunch of them have to be dangerous. And we've seen crimes that have been committed. It doesn't help anybody on the progressive side to deny the fact that that's a real problem. And if it happens to your family, God forbid, I don't want it to happen to anybody's, but if it does, you will feel a sting of regret if you supported that, unlike anything you've ever experienced in your life.
But recently, since Trump's deportation policy has taken effect, Joe Rogan has said that we have to be careful that we don't become monsters while fighting monsters, and he recently spoke this week on his podcast about immigration again.
This is my feeling. Like, if you got here and you've integrated into our society, yeah, maybe you shouldn't have snuck in, but you did it, and you're not breaking any laws. You're a hardworking person. Those people need a path to citizenship, man. Because if you don't, then they're just preyed upon by people that will take advantage of the fact that they're undocumented and not pay them what they're legally supposed to pay them, and not give them benefits if they're legally supposed to have benefits, and they can't say anything because they're worried that immigration is going to get called on them. So these people are in this constant state of anxiety, and then they hear about the ICE raids, like at Home Depot. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
man?
there was a big ICE raid at the Facebook data center job not far from my place, where I used to have to go when I was at
Facebook data center ICE raid?
Yeah, at the Facebook project. It's in it's not far from me in Virginia. I think it's technically would be South Boston. I think it's technically in
ICE
South
didn't
Boston.
bribe, or Facebook didn't bribe ICE? If I was Facebook, I would have fucking bought ICE some new cars.
There's a big job a big job site that I used to have to go on that's in the southern part of Virginia, like not far from North Carolina. And somebody was sending me pictures there from the other day, but they had a big ICE raid, and there was dudes like running through people were just escaping the job, like running away from the job and stuff. It was nuts. But
why? Like, gang members, yes. Criminals, yes. Why? Like, I think, as crazy as it sounds, the only way to do this and look like you have a heart is evaluate people on a case-by-case basis.
And though Joe Rogan may be slowly turning on Trump and his policies, it appears that Dave Smith has taken a more drastic action and proclaimed something we thought we would never hear.
Yeah, Donald Trump, listen, man, I supported him this last year. I apologize for doing so. It was a bad calculation. At the time, it seemed like the right one. But he should be impeached and removed for this one. Wow. And not on some not on some ridiculous Nancy Pelosi. Of course, the Congress will never do it because they're all a bunch of, corrupt hacks.
This is the one thing they support. This is
Donald Trump should be impeached and removed for this. All of his supporters should turn on him. It's the absolute betrayal of everything that he ran and campaigned on and everything that he stood for. And I will say, despite the fact that, Donald Trump supporters have been labeled like a cult following, and that certainly is true for a percentage of his supporters, he is going to lose his coalition over this. I don't just speak for myself when I say there are a lot of us who simply will not go along with this.
Now that you've seen the videos, do you think Joe Rogan and the Rogan sphere are slowly turning away from Trump? Or are they morphing their opinions like they always do to meet their financial goals and to keep a solid fan base? Or is it just the compassion deep in their hearts that has made this change? Well, let me know in the comments, because who knows, it could be any one of them.
Don't stay.